Well guys, welcome to Lad's Garage. We are currently off season. You can see I'm wearing a jacket. It is the 1st of November and I am kind of working on a game plan for, what we're going to do in 2026. As of right now, about as much as I've gotten done to the car to get ready for 2026. Well, I've got it up on jack stands. I mean, that's progress. I have talked to my buddy Paul Will, who loaned me the 305, and kind of got a game plan. I think I'm going to buy the 305. Why? Well, I can't buy a good 355 or build a good 355 or, even a stock bore 350 for what I'm going to pay for this motor. So I think I'm going to take the gamble and attempt to buy this motor. But I also have 4 children. I had to count it because I got 4 kids, 2 teenagers, 2 toddlers, a wife, me, 2 horses, 4 dogs, 3 rabbits, 2 cats, multiple vehicles that are always breaking down. I got all this stuff to take care of, so I got to kind of come up with an alternative method of, hey, Paul Will, here's $1,000. So what we're going to do is kind of have a plan to get rid of some of this mess here. I got aluminum, I got radiators, plenty of radiators. I'm gonna pop the plastic off of that, so it's just the aluminum, and then we got 3 racing radiators here that are junk, so that'll bring in a pretty good chunk of change. I have this car, which I should have made a full video on just doing this, but timber! We got this old car. I gotta get the wheels, get the tires off of it. And then I'm gonna probably just pull the wheels off, throw them in the car once I set it up on the trailers. Or then come there with the claw and go. Originally, I got this car to try to make an enduro car out of it, but it sat too long in the weeds, and you guys could see up here, the mice took it over. I got to looking at the floor and everything, and the rust and everything on it was beyond what I wanted to mess with. So, if you've worked around cars long enough, you know on these aluminum radiators with the plastic reservoirs, these little tabs, after a while, sometimes will start leaking, which wasn't the case with this radiator. It's actually leaking around that nipple down there. You got these plastic seams from the factory molding or whatever, and suckers just, they split on it. So sometimes these things will start leaking around this seam here, and you can go through with a pair of pliers and go through, and you can just, pinch down on them, and you can sometimes seal that up without having to go buy a whole new radiator. But our goal is to do just the opposite. We're trying to peel them up. Somewhere in Mexico, there is somebody doing just the opposite of me right here and putting this thing back together. Put one of these together. We're at a point I think we can get in here, start peeling this thing back. All right. Maybe. May have to get it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. That's a trans cooler. Ain't no reason to keep it, but we'll throw it up on the burn pile, and when the rest of this melts off, we'll have that to throw in the scrap pile. I'm gonna go on out on a limb and say this is probably $10. $10. Just added 2 more Hot Wheels to my Hot Wheel collection. Got my Honda Civic and the old Corvette Gasser 62. Those that haven't seen my Hot Wheels collection. Got the Fast and the Furious set, and just another set. Some NASCARs. Got the Cyclone. I don't really collect, you know, specific ones. I just collect what I think is neat. Like I thought the little Volvo was neat. That was pretty cool. Got the old Nomad. Got the Aztec. The Pontiac Le Mans on steroids. Got the El Camino. And we got our open packages. We got our one that at an auction, a Jeff Gordon set. A bunch of the NASCAR set came out of an auction. We got some oldies. Got the old Chevy truck. They were all open. Got the funny car, and got the pulling tractor, the Airborne Ranger. We got a collection of Hot Wheels here. Not to mention my Pinewood set. Oh yeah, and I had to get a jacked up version of Rocky. Of course, we got the piston and the bottom piece of the valve that came out of the Corvette motor that we had in Intimidator. Bought that at a swap meet. Thought it was really cool. We got me and the Counts family and CJ. Back when they had, before they got Bandit, they had that vintage car that they traded for it. Just in case any of you wondering what I could use for Christmas, I wear an 80 by 60 shop. At least 4 bays. Mazda radiator, probably ain't gonna bring much. About, might be $2 or $3 there. I have 50, 60 bucks worth of radiators there. And pull a couple of hoses off the race car radiators. Now, I do have one more, not necessarily junk radiator, but it's not perfect. It's not my primary radiator, but it is a backup just in case. One thing you need to do if you're like me and your shop is more or less just something to kind of keep you out of the rain when you're working. This part of my shop is not heated or cooled. So this year I did not run a heavy mixture of antifreeze in this engine, not knowing what we were going to be doing. So I ran more of a water mixture in it than I did antifreeze. So with wintertime coming around and not being in a climate controlled shop, I need to drain the antifreeze out. My radiator does not have a petcock on it to drain the antifreeze out, but the little 305 block does have a plug on the side of the block, but it's not a freeze plug, but it's a regular drain plug that I can undo and drain the antifreeze out of the block, which makes life really simple. So this little plug right here is actually a drain plug for the cooling system on the block itself. So I'm just going to pop that out, drain the antifreeze out, and we'll call the car winterized. Just for future reference, and if I forget, this is up to you guys, I'm putting my plug in the bottom drawer of this toolbox here. And if it ever comes up missing, you guys are the only ones that know about where I put it, besides me. Which if it comes up missing, I'm gonna blame you. All right, we got that thing loaded up finally. I was going to try to take video, but it's wet out. You guys can see I was sliding all over trying to keep the car straight on the trailer without ripping my fenders off. We throwed, this is the one of the old clutches out of Fireball. Throwed it in there, spare wheel, some random scrap crap. Got some more scrap crap on the top. There's some of the old Intimidator firewall in here. More of the old clutch of Fireball. Intimidator pieces. Fender off of the HHR that my wife hit a deer with. Yeah, for the most part, the car is loaded. We're gonna chain her down and get ready to take it into town. Don't judge my tie down methods. We got one chain wrapped over the back. That's my Ford securement. We got two straps over the top. That's to hold the loose ends in. And that's my up and down securement. Then we got cross chains over the front. And that's my rear movement securement. Don't judge. And I also managed to run over that. Dadgummit. I have to make another one. I need to load these guys up, and then we're gonna be good to head to town. So my goal, the goal of this trip to the scrapyard, and I'm going to a new scrapyard I've never been to before, but their prices seem to be more comparable to what's up in Park Hills, and I don't have to drive as far and waste as much fuel. But between the radiators, the car, and odd end scrap that I threw in, I am hoping to get around at least $200. If it's less than $200, I'm not necessarily going to be upset, but that's my goal, is around 200. So we shall see. Money. Oops, maybe. There you go. The claw. All right, so we are, with just today's visit, paid for a little over a quarter of what we owe on the 305 here. As far as big plans for Bandit or Camaro, I don't really have any big upgraded plans for the car itself. A few little tweaks and adjustments that we're going to make. I do need to pull the motor, transmission. Matter of fact, the last race we went out, right before I left, I found two of the ears were busted on the transmission. So I need to pull. It's easier for me to pull the engine and transmission. I need to make a repair to the oil pan or swap oil pans out. And I need to repair the transmission, so we don't have to worry about it breaking off, or I might use one of my other 35 I got laying around. But as of right now, I don't have any big overhaul plans for Bandit. We're gonna get the engine paid off, make a few minor repairs, a few adjustments, might get a new set of tires put on. I got plenty of them. So that's that. Y'all stay safe. God bless you, and we'll catch you later.